What is the 26th Amendment? Who does it apply to?
Joining us on the set this morning is Heather Smith. She is the president of Rock the Vote. Many of you have heard of it. Talking this morning about young voters. Will they turn out in November?
Well, that is the big question. Will they turn out in November? You know, everyone keeps asking that. And I think it's still a little bit too early to tell. Our most recent polling has shown that, similar to what we're finding on the ground, they want to participate. They're saying they're likely to vote, they're somewhat likely to vote, they want to show up. But there's a couple things standing in the way. One, I think they are more cynical about the political process. They're paying attention and getting frustrated with the corporate influence of politics, in politics and the pace of change. And I honestly think they're hungry for leadership. If someone stands up and says, this is who I am, this is what I believe in, vote for me, and goes out and reaches out to them in a real way, talks about their real issues, similar to how Obama and the presidential candidates did in '08, then they will respond.
Since the establishment of this amendment, do teens actually utilize this right? If they do, what political knowledge do they have, and where do they get it from? Although politics are all around us, from television to newspapers to the internet, most teenagers don't feel that they know enough political background to make a decent choice in voting. We asked a few of our peers and instructors their view on this issue. First, do they actually plan on using their right to vote?
Yes, I do plan on voting this year.
I'm 18. I think it's very important for all 18-year-olds to go out there and vote.
Yes, I plan to vote.
Probably not.
Yeah, well, I do plan on voting, but I'm not really sure if I should.
Second, do they know what the 26th Amendment is?
They lowered the voting age to 18.
No, I do not know the 26th Amendment.
We then asked each individual student about their political knowledge.
For right now, my political knowledge is just what I learned throughout school and life.
At the moment, my political views are undecided because, I just don't pay attention to politics very much right now, and I don't really know what I want.
Basically everything that just my dad talks about, because he's a hardcore Republican, so pretty much all my views reflect his because...
We then asked each individual student what background they had and how that affected their knowledge. Was it their parents or something else?
My parents have the biggest influence on my political views because you grow up around them, they talk about what they want. They don't like candidates because they're too liberal, they don't like candidates because they're too conservative, just that kind of stuff.
Finally, we asked if they thought if they should be allowed to vote.
I'm still young.
Yes, because we're considered adults now, so, we should have the right to. So
honestly, I don't really think they should. A lot of 18-year-olds don't really pay attention if they're not knowledgeable enough to make a good decision, in my opinion.
But what about being enlisted in the Army? Should 18-year-olds be enlisted? Should their right to vote be based on this?
It's the choice of the person. If they want to join the Army, then they should be able to.
I do, because we're 18, we're old enough to be in the military. So if we can fight for our country, then we should be able to vote too.
Now we ask some opinions of younger voters. But what about the older ones? When did they start to vote? Should they believe that 18-year-olds are allowed to vote? And what do they think about 18-year-olds enlisting for service?
I started voting as soon as I could, whenever I was 18 years old, and I thought it was sort of a historic election that I wanted to be a part of. I wanted change to happen for our country. It was as soon as I went to college that there was an election and I turned 18. I don't think that enough young people actually go out and get educated and make the decision to vote. They still think that everything's going to happen for them somehow and somebody else will take care of it. I think that they deserve the right to, but I wish that they would exercise the right a little bit more. I think that it's important for people who are, 18 years old, if they can be drafted to go to war, that it's important for them to be a part of the decision-making process and therefore be able to have the right to vote as well. I think that voting is necessary today. I think that more people should go out and exercise the vote, but I feel like a lot of people don't believe that their vote counts on account of the Electoral College. It doesn't seem like it's a very equal system that's set up. One person, one vote. It seems like, they think, oh, my vote's not going to count. So maybe if the system changed a little bit more, people would feel like their voice was heard more.
Well, I think there is a problem with 18-year-olds having the maturity to make those decisions, but I agree very much with the logic that if 18-year-olds are allowed to go off to war and fight and kill for their country and command troops in battle, then yeah, they should be able to vote. I think it's something everyone should do, yes. But also, I think our country is so big, our state is so big, our city is so big that you can easily feel that one vote doesn't make a difference.
I'm definitely a conservative. I'm not a fan of change. I like some change, but not a lot of change. I like with what I know, and I kind of stick with it. I would have to say of how I was brought up, because my parents, obviously, they instilled values in me, and they instilled their political views in me, and so they would be major.
Yeah.
I think it teaches them responsibility. I think that they are old enough, to drive a car. They're old enough to go off to college, then why not? They should be able to vote. I think it's a great thing. It teaches them that they have a voice in politics and they need to express it.
Now that we've seen different views from different people, a majority of the population can easily notice that young voters don't have a big enough political background to make a knowledgeable vote. Originally, the 26th Amendment was passed in hopes to expand the Electoral College. It didn't. Most teenagers likely won't have enough motivation to vote, along with limited knowledge. So is this amendment necessary? Should the voting age be raised? What about enlisting? The debate still continues.